April 25th, 2025. Interviewing Dr. Shoshana Weich-Shahak, Dr. Susanna Weich-Shahak, the ethnomusicologist, in her home near Tel Aviv.
That's right.
Shoshana, can you tell us how this all started, this amazing, deep research into Sephardic song?
Well, my research started like a surprise, I would say. At the time, in 1974, I was finishing my fieldwork for my doctorate thesis, and my tutor ordered me to go to Jerusalem and work at the Jewish musical research and to speak with Professor Adler, who was the director at that time. So I have been always very obedient to my teachers. It's not, I'm not sure if it is a good sign or a bad one, but this is the character. So I went to speak with Professor Adler, and he explained to me that in the research center, every researcher is working on some field of the Jewish music. Someone on Yemenite, someone klezmer, someone Hasidim. And there was no one working on the Sephardic Jews. And he said, well, this is the occasion. Please, you will work on Sephardic Jews. So I started to look for Sephardic people. And I heard that in Yafo there is a place where from outside we listen to music and something in Spanish. So I went there. It was a center for the elderly, from the municipality center. And they, every day, old Sephardic people, especially from Bulgaria, and some from Turkey already at that time, gather together, they sing with panderos, with tambourines, and they have a pasan la hora, I would say. They have a good time together. So this is where I started. This was my first steps in this wonderful path of the Sephardic tradition. Especially because the Bulgarian Sephardic are as they are, nice, generous, accepting, open, and they received me very good. And then I'm very grateful for their reception, for they led me for the first steps in this field. Then I got to know Dudun Recanati, who was the wife of the director of the Discount Bank. And she invited me to her house. She is from Saloniki, and invited people from Saloniki. And then she sent me to record the big Chazan from Saloniki, Yaakov Sadikario. And if Dudun said, you work with Shoshana, he worked. She was like a queen at that time. And I worked a lot with him. I went to many times. So those are the first steps. Now, as surprisingly enough, for the whole year, I never heard about Moroccan Sephardim. Didn't know they existed. They existed. I know from my birth country, in Argentina, there were some Sephardic in the youth movement. There were a youth movement for the Sephardic young people, Echalutz Techezakna, they was called. So I met them. I know they existed. That's all. So I was in the last trip to Peru, to the jungle where I did my research. And at the end, I was in Lima, waiting to my flight back to Israel. And I said, well, it is a nice time. It is before Rosh Hashanah, something like that. I go to the synagogue. It was very surprising. This synagogue mostly are Turkish. And they sang a Hot Ketana in their way, but someone on a side was singing differently. They say, how is that possible? So I asked this different. And it was the rabbi, who was also the Chazan, called Abraham Ben Amu, and he was from Morocco. He just came over from many years working in Gibraltar. Gibraltar is after Tetuan's tradition, but very special in their own way. And he was very kind. And I had a wonderful session with him in his house, with his wife, and this was a discovery. And then I was looking on for them. So this is my path. Then a good step was whenever I had a congress in Europe or in South America, I went to look for the Jews in these places. And then I went especially on my own to record the Rodeslis that went to Brussels, to Belgium. So I went there, I recorded wonderful recordings in Brussels, then in Buenos Aires, in Chile, in Spain. Many Moroccan Jews fled after the protectorate, Spanish protectorate in Morocco is finished. They went to Spain, many of them. So there's a huge community of Moroccan Jews in Spain, and some of them very, very good informants. Well, this is almost, and in Israel, of course, everywhere, Ashdod, Ashkelon.
Amazing, amazing. So, can you tell us about your work as far as bringing these songs to new singers? Because I know that you are so. I don't think that there is a singer who sings Sephardic music that doesn't actually use your recordings.
Yes. Well, I had a very good chance. I cannot say something differently. Through my work in Spain, where I got several becas, several grants to work in Spain, especially bibliography that we don't have enough here, and also to look and to get to know the Spanish repertoire, the non-Jewish. And being surprised every time again and again with the similarity of the text of the romances. The same romances they sing today in Zamora, in León, in Cantabria, wherever.
So interesting.
Like Mrs. Whoever I can say. They sing here, people from Rhodos or from Turkey. The same text, the same story, told again and again. So, and then one of my colleagues was very interested in the Sephardic music. It is called Jose Manuel Fraile. And Jose Manuel, at that time, he was undergoing operations with his eyes. After that, he became totally blind. But before that, he had operation and he had to spend a lot of time lying. And so I used to send him my latest recordings. And to my surprise, he learned all of them by heart.
Was he an instrumentalist or a singer?
Singer and tambourine.
Okay.
He can play all the panderos of the different places in Spain that have different ways of performing. So one of the occasions I was supposed to meet him in Zamora, a little bit to the north of Madrid. I will arrive with a train because I had some conference or something, and he was already there with his friends. And he will wait for me, they will wait for me at the station. And I am traveling and the train stops. Something is not working good. not surprisingly, but so we were detained for quite a few hours. I was supposed to arrive about maybe 9 o'clock in the evening, and it was already 2, 3, and I was thinking, what will I do? I am arriving to a place where I don't know a single person. I don't know them. And the only person that knows me is blind. So, well, I will sit and I will wait for the next train back to Madrid, finished story. But when I went down from the train, I hear, what was that? Arre lumbre, arre lumbre, from the end of the antenna of it. It was his with the whole friends of him who we already taught these songs.
Amazing.
Singing Moroccan wedding songs.
Amazing.
So I was lucky that they could see who I am.
Amazing. What a
So
beautiful
after
story.
that, I started to invite Jose Manuel and a friend of his, Eliseo Parra, who is a very well-known singer in Spain, to accompany when I gave a conference in Spain. I used them as examples. And then, when we had quite a lot of repertoire, we decided to record it. And we made, at that time, 3. They were called arboleras. One about coplas and cancionero, one about romances, and one about the new repertoire of the 20th century. Things that were composed by the Jews, by the Sephardic Jews, already each in their community.
Yes, how interesting. Yes.
And this group, I think it was how do you say, when you break through something.
Yes.
No?
Mhm.
It was a breakthrough because it brought all the material that I decided to work with them, learned directly from the original recordings of the Informant,
Of course.
and trying very much to do it well.
Yes.
And they were very dedicated.
Yes.
In the recordings, I remember maybe to finish one romance, which is quite a lot, the 2-3 minutes of song. No, but you should have said sh and not je. It was a mistake. Again and again. And they never, I must say to them, they never said oof. No. They accepted, they do it again, and they. Now, very important today is to see that almost every group of Sephardic repertoire in Spain, there are many, plenty, they learned from the Arboleras recordings.
Amazing. How interesting.
So you see, it has a very important place in the widening of the repertoire, because normally, until then, all the Sephardic groups all over the world sang the 6 songs, beautiful songs, that
were popularized in Israel by Yoram Gaon, by the Dudaim, etc.
It was the Stantz Sephardic songs.
Yes.
And here the Spanish people that especially enjoy more than everywhere else because of the language, of the possibility to understand what the text is saying. It was very important to the widening of the scope. You know? So this is, I think that's the first. Since then, when I came back to Israel, I was speaking with Mira Toledano. Then I gave me the Prasa later. And I was saying, well, you see, in Spain they are obedient and they listen to the original and they do good things like Arbolera. And they said, do it here. And you said, it's stupid things, the very simple things, and they said, okay. And then I had the big luck to meet Orit, who was as willing as my Arboleras people to listen and to listen, and again to listen and again to listen, and to try to be as close as possible to the Informant.
Yes, thank you. It's been such a blessing working with you all these years. It's been such a huge blessing.
For me it was a blessing because I see it is possible.
Yes.
It is possible to do it.
Yes.
And then we did together very good. I am very proud of this Saloniki repertoire together with University
In
of
Haifa,
Haifa,
yes,
where I
yes.
had many Arab students, which were wonderful
right.
with the Eastern instruments.
And Kobe Zarko was
And
also
Kobe
singing.
Zarko also
was
sang
an amazing informant and singer.
Amazing. He was
Yes.
a clever informant because he was young and he was writing down what the grandmother, two grandmothers,
Yes,
writing down the songs that the grandmother sang.
such, yes, priceless material.
Yeah.
Priceless material, the songs that he sings. Yes.
And
And
today, lately we did also about one of Izmir,
yes.
also, and now the Moroccan one. the
And
Sierra
Bulgaria, which
And-
will soon be.
Yes,
Yes,
soon to
soon.
be published.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. I
Yes.
like it very much because
Yes.
probably because, as I told you, it was my first landing in the
Yes.
Sephardic
Yes.
repertoire was
Yes.
the Bulgarian one.
Yes, wonderful.
So
Yes. So Shoshana, soon this website hopefully will be available and with as many of your songs as possible.
huge work. And I am so grateful and so deeply moved by their disposition.
Just to say that it's only a tiny bit of all that Susanna has done, just to say.
No, but it is the most important because it puts it to be useful
Yes.
to the people that can
Hopefully.
bring it again to the air. They make it again from a remembrance, from a tradition. It will become actual live music. So this is, I think, in this sense, I am very happy, especially because it includes all kind of recordings that are people are unable to get to them.
Yes, unavailable, yes.
Unavailable.
Or difficult to access. It's not unavailable, but difficult to
Well,
access.
some books
More,
are available, but
Yeah.
the
and of course,
CDs,
the things are in the National Library Sound
Yes.
Archives of Jerusalem,
All.
but they're not as accessible as single songs for sure.
No.
Yes, yes. So yeah,
I think from somewhere, I'm not, I'm not great expert in the field, but maybe from somewhere, Alicia Bendayan and Rosa Zaradel and Tremayo from they think, that's very nice. People are singing my song.
and also hearing them in their
Hearing
own
them.
voices, which is so special.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Orin. Thank you.
And-
Thank you.
And thank you for your huge generosity and your huge work, your huge life work that has brought life into so much music and helped so many singers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very